negative message, how to send the negative message. And while talking about the negative message, direct approach and indirect approach, we discussed in our previous class. And how to write negative message directly and indirectly. These two method we did, okay, in previous class. So that now, while talking about the indirect approach, I was explaining about the buffer, the regions, and additional information. The bad news end with a positive close. These are the main consideration that you have to apply here. Buffer means obstacle, means what is the main problem, what is the main negative message. You have to keep that point. You have to find the barrier of sending. Barrier means which problem you are focusing on, what is the negative message that you have to find out at first. Then second thing is that the region and additional information, why you are just, suppose the negative message is cutting this bonus of the steps, and that is the negative, that is the barrier, cut off of the bonus, that is the barrier. And the reason is that because of the COVID-19, everything, there is economic crisis and you are cutting the bonus of the staff, that is the reason. So you have to clarify the reason properly, okay. You have to clarify the reason so that the reader, the person, the receiver who received the message will read that, and the negative message will also, that person will receive positively, that is the thing. And bad news and end with a positive call, a close, means while ending the letter, ending the email, whatever the message is, you have to create a positive tone. For example, you'll get that in page number 97, 98, 99, and 100. You can go through these pages and you will get that. So let's talk about the new topic now. That is writing memo. Memo is another thing. Suppose email, letters you send to a person, that is for personal use, or that person gets email or letter, whatever message you send, negative message, positive message, that you send to the person, not to the group. But memo is addressed to the group. Letter address the person, email address the person, but memo address the group, okay, to all. In this uh, memo, in memo you address to all, but in letter or email you address to the manager or to the boss, to the friend, wherever, to whoever you are writing. So memo, shortcut, that is memo. And that is also called memorandum, or shortly speaking, memo is a piece of writing generally written by the officers of an organization for sharing information among them. Means if I'm the information officer of of an organization, and I want to share a message to the whole staff of that office, at that time it is not possible to inform them personally. At that time I prepare a memo, I write a memo, and I send that memo to them, or I just pass that memo on the notice board of the office, notice board of the organization, and all the staffs are they can read that. It is like a notice, okay. But it is addressed to all the staffs. There is not any kind of biasness. Boss also reads that, and the labor also read that. But memo is outdated nowadays. Nowadays, because of the digital age, different types of digital boards are developed in the organization. SMS is there, short message is there, instant message is there, email is there. In email you can CC all, CCs भन्ने जुन part हुन्छ, you can attach all the address there and they read nowadays. Means email is replacing memo. Memo, it is good piece of writing in the in the context of the, okay, pre-digital era. Means in the past, the officers in the organization, they used to write the memo to address all the staffs, but nowadays it is replaced, so that we do not write everywhere we do not, it is not necessary to write memo, but in the course it is given so that we have to go through memo. Okay, in the examination also some case may be there from the memo. So memos are often only a few short paragraphs, but they can be much longer depending on their purpose. Means memo style of memo writing is very much related to letter writing. In letter we address the individual, but in memo we address the group. That is the different. Other message writing style is same like the letter. In this memo, sometimes we write a long memo and sometimes we write the very short memo. It depends according to the purpose, according to the content, according to the condition. Means why you are writing a memo. To inform any event, any news, then you write the short memo. If you are writing the memo about a project to the group, then at that time you may write the long memo. That depends on the situation, subject matter. Here are some typical use of memo. Why we use memo? There are some points here to consider for you, so that so that why we write memo. Here are some points, bullets. Look at this. To inform others about new or change policy, procedures.
Accept गर्नु रे
Yeah, I have already accepted him. Madhu was there. I have accepted him. Okay. Then to inform others about new change, policy, procedures, organizational details. Means if you have changed any policy of the office, then procedures, organizational details, means rule, regulations, etiquette, whatever you have changed in the office, in the organization, at that time you by law, law of the office, okay, भन्छ नि विधानहरू त्यस्तो चेन्ज गर्नुभयो, at that time you have to inform to all the staffs, and at that time we write memo. And second thing is that to announce meeting events and change it. Means if there is change in schedule, a schedule, means suppose you had already posted a schedule for project, but instantly you have changed that, and it should be informed to the group, to the staffs, who were engaged in that project. So so at that time you have to write the memo addressing them. Nowadays we write mail, email, because it goes in very short time, so the instantly they get that. But in the past there used to be memo. It doesn't mean that nowadays we do not use memo. We can use memo if we have any okay necessities to do that. Then announce meeting events and change, and to present decision. Another thing that we write memo, to present decisions, directives, proposals, and briefings. To briefings, तपाईले meeting को briefing गर्नु पर्यो to all the staffs. सबै हुँदैन, कहिलेकाहीँ सबैले जान्नु पर्ने हुन सक्छ स्टाफले. That time for the briefings, for the proposal, means you are planning something and you want to engage all the staffs there. At that time you have to write the memo. Then directives, to give direction how to handle the office in this crisis, in this pandemic period, in this critical period, COVID-19, how to handle the duties of the office. At that time you have to give direction to the staffs. At that time you have to write the memo. So to transmit documents, internal documents transmit गर्नको लागि for the staffs, at that time you write memo. So memo format, while talking about the format of memo, you will find a different format in the book, and also later in Google also you will get many formats. Major universal format, company and department name you have to write. Means at first at the letter head, तपाईको letter pad को head हुन्छ, त्यो फर्मेटमा चाहिँ सुरुमा चाहिँ के हुन्छ, तपाईको कुनै बैंकमा काम गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ, मानौँ XYZ बैंक, तपाईले XYZ बैंक बाणगंगा 1 जितपुर भनेर माथि लेटर हेड हुन्छ लेटर प्याडमा, त्यो कम्पलसरी चाहिन्छ if you are in organization. पर्सनली मेमो पठाउँदाखेरि त्यस्तो नहोला, पर्सनल मेमो हुँदैन खास अफिसमै अर्गनाइजेसनमै, लेटर हेड इज नेसेसरी. देन हेडिङ, अब चाहिँ त्यो लेटर हेड पछि के हुन्छ, टु होम यु आर, टु होम यु आर एड्रेसिङ, टु लेटरमा जस्तै यहाँ पनि टु हुन्छ हु गेट्स इट, टु अल द स्टाफ्स हो, अथवा टु द डिपार्टमेन्ट अफ इन्फर्मेसन, टु द डिपार्टमेन्ट अफ लोन। तपाईँको बैंक छ मानौँ, तपाईँले लोन डिपार्टकोलाई मात्रै त्यो मेमो पठाउन पनि मिल्छ। लोन डिपार्टकोलाई मात्रै तपाईँले, जस्तै राष्ट्र बैंकले केही पोलिसीहरू चेन्ज गरेको छ एन्ड लोन सम्बन्धी पोलिसीहरू, at that time you have to send the memo to the as a manager you have to send the memo to the loan department। जस्तै अब ठुलो बैंकको चाहिँ के हुन सक्छ, लोन डिपार्टमेन्टमा 15-20 जना कर्मचारी हुन सक्छ। at that time to all the staffs of loan department भनेर टु मा लेख्नु पर्यो। from भनेको who sent it means I am the manager, then from the manager। जस्तै म इन्फर्मेसन अफिसर हो भने from the information officer भनेर त्यो लेख्नु पर्यो। सब्जेक्ट इज इसेन्शियल। सब्जेक्ट चेन्जिङ पोलिसी अफ लोन मानौँ के हो त, तपाईँले सर्टकटमा सब्जेक्ट खुलाउनु पर्छ। डेट कहिले लेख्नुभयो, and then body paragraphs convey the message. What is your main message? What policy has brought by Nepal Rashtra Bank? So you have to write that in directly body paragraph, shortcut, direct language, direct त्यहाँनिर घुमाइ फिराइ केही लेख्नु पर्दैन। convey the message and these are the हेडिङ लाइन्स। अब हेडिङ पछि तपाईको बडी आयो, हेडिङमा भन्दा नि बडी आयो, बडीमा चाहिँ के हुन्छ त भन्दा मेन पोइन्ट्स अनि चाहिँ लास्टमा क्लोज है। यो डेट सम्मको हेडिङ हो, त्यसपछिको के हो त यो बडी पार्ट्स मा चाहिँ के हुनुपर्छ, मेन पोइन्ट्सहरु लेख्नुपर्छ इन्ट्रोडक्सनमा, अनि बडी पार्ट्स हो यो तल हुनुपर्ने माथि भएछ, त्यसपछि क्लोजिङ लास्टमा है। इन दिस वे यु हैव टु राइट। so write it, date it, sign it, these are the things in it। write it, date it भनेको कहिले लेख्नु भएको हो, sign it, लास्टमा चाहिँ सिग्नेचर। जस्तै तपाई यु आर द म्यानेजर, लास्टमा फ्रम म्यानेजर लेख्नुहुन्छ, लास्टमा योर सिग्नेचर इज नेसेसरी देयर। सो ओरल मेसेज वेस्ट टाइम, व्हाई वी राइट मेमो। जस्तै प्रत्येकलाई भन्नु भन्दा पनि यहाँनिर मेमो किन चाहियो त भन्ने कुरा रेड जुन हाइलाइट गरिएको छ। ओरल मेसेज वेस्ट टाइम, cause annoying interruption and are likely to be misunderstood or forgotten, therefore memo is one of the effective form of communication। भनेको कुरा काम गर्दा गर्दै गएर ल है यस्तो चेन्ज गरेको छ पोलिसी भनेर इफ यु टेल दैट इन द डिपार्टमेन्ट, लोन डिपार्टमेन्ट, the officers, the employees there, staffs there will get disturbance or annoying, interrupt हुन सक्छ। उनीहरु एउटा काम गर्दै छन्, तपाईले भन्दा भन्दै बिर्सिन सक्छन्, के मिस्टेक हुन सक्छ। सो रिटन फर्म इज नेसेसरी भनेर यहाँनिर फोकस गरिएको छ। सो लेट्स त्यो कुरा एउटा भयो। एन्ड मेमो स्टाइलको कुरा गर्दा क्लीन, डाइरेक्ट, कन्साइज है। यो भनेको अब सिम्पल कुरा हो, जहाँ लेटरमा पनि हुन्छ मेमोमा पनि हुन्छ। क्लीन हुनु पर्यो, डाइरेक्ट ल्याङ्ग्वेज, डाइरेक्ट त्यहाँनिर घुमाइ फिराइ केही हुँदैन। व्हाट इज द मेन इन्फर्मेसन, फोकस अन दैट इन्फर्मेसन। कन्साइज भनेको एकदम तपाईको सकेसम्म के हुनुपर्छ, सर्ट सेन्टेन्स, सर्ट कन्साइज फर्ममा लेख्नुस्। मेमो स्ट्रक्चरको कुरा गर्दा सब्जेक्ट लाइन, क्लोज, बडी एन्ड इन्ट्रोडक्टरी प्याराग्राफ भयो है। सब्जेक्ट लाइन हुन्छ, अनि बडी इन्ट्रोडक्टरी प्याराग्राफ हुन्छ, बडी हुन्छ, क्लोज हुन्छ। यो अलिकति सिक्वेन्स मिलेको रहेनछ। एन्ड इन पेज नम्बर 101 you will get that। and let's also here in the sites also, internet also, there are many just I want to show you just a minute हेर्नुस् है। यहाँ कति छन् तपाईहरुले मेमोको चाहिँ एक्जाम्पल्सहरु यु विल गेट हियर इन एक्जाम्पल्स अफ मेमो भनेर गुगलमा जानुभयो भने देयर आर लट्स अफ मेमोज देयर। सपोज यहाँनिर मैले एउटा देखाउन खोजेँ मेमोरेन्डम भने, यहाँनिर माथि लेटर हेड केहीको छैन कुनै कम्पनीको, यहाँ माथि लेटर हेड हुन्छ भन्न खोजेको, लेटर प्याडको माथिको कम्पनीको नाम, अनि डेट, टु, फ्रम, सब्जेक्ट हेर्नुस् है। एन्ड देन दिस इज द बडी प्याराग्राफ, देन थ्याङ्क यू फर योर कोअपरेसन भन्यो। यहाँ सिग्नेचर छैन कसैको, सिग्नेचर हुन्छ योर म्यानेजर भयो म्यानेजरको, सेक्रेटरी भयो सेक्रेटरीको, यहाँ लास्टमा सिग्नेचर सेक्रेटरी भनेर सिग्नेचर हुन्छ। ओके, दिस इज द स्टाइल भनेको लेटरको जस्तो स्टाइल हो यो। टु, फर्म, सब्जेक्ट सबै लेटरमा पनि हुन्छ, डेट पनि हुन्छ लेटरमा। डिफरेन्ट इज दैट। ओके, I think you got, yeah, here are numerous examples you will get। मेमोको जति पनि एक्जाम्पलहरु कसरी लेख्ने रहेछ भनेर you will get there in the internet also। So let's go to the slide। Okay, so these are the things and then after memo style, Examples you will get in 102, 103, 105. Okay. Writing persuasive messages. अब हामी नयाँ कुरामा आयौं अघि हामी नेगेटिभ मेसेजमा थियौं प्रिभियस क्लासमा टुडे we did memo just now and then let's go to persuasive message हाम्रो च्याप्टरको नाम थियो writing letters instant message letters persuasive message and negative message and positive message त्यो थियो अब हामी चाहिँ writing persuasive message मा आएका छौं so what is persuasive message भन्ने कुरा गर्दा persuasion. What is persuasion? Come to this point. Persuasion means to convince someone. Suppose if I counsel you, if I tell anything, if I have a policy, if I have a new product and you are the dealer, at that time I have to persuade you to buy my object, to order my object. Means I should counsel you, telling different things. It is very quality product. त्यसरी चाहिँ मैले के गर्छु त तपाईलाई के गर्छु कन्सिल गर्छु केही अथेन्टिक एभिडेन्स ल्याएर तपाईलाई पर्सुएसन कन्भिन्स गर्ने काम गर्छु पर्सुएसन मीन्स कन्भिन्सिङ Persuasion is the attempt to change someone's attitude, beliefs, or action. A common mistake with persuasive message is to fail to clarify the purpose. In the workplace, a persuasive message occurs when a person attempts to convince an individual or group to take certain specific action. Means why we persuade means to uh, to um, to convey the message, to convey the message and to convey the message and to make that person believe on you. Okay, we persuade other. Persuasion means some kind of counseling. Persuasion is making convince अरूलाई convince गराउनु भनेको persuasion हो. And for why we persuade other भन्दाखेरि to make them believe, to convey the message and to take certain specific action, we persuade other. That is the thing. So persuasion message कसरी लेखिन्छ त भन्ने कुरा आउँछ त्यसपछि. Persuasion message अब यहाँनिर एडा मोडल यो तपाईले ख्याल गर्नु होला यो परीक्षामा पनि एक्जाममा पनि मेमोहरु के रे त्यो persuasive message दिएर के मिस्टेकहरु दिएर त्यहाँनिर के कमजोरी छ what are the weakness in this message, why the speaker fails to persuade the audience there भनेर त्यसरी तपाईलाई सोधेको हुन्छ. So that persuasion is necessary. Okay. So एडा मोडल भन्ने चाहिँ एउटा मोडलको नामै छ यो एडा मोडल याद गर्नु होला. एडा भनेको attention, interest, desire and action. यो persuasive message मा these four things are necessary. If you write following this ADA model, your message becomes persuasive. Otherwise, you fail to convince, you fail to persuade the other. So sometimes in the case, the examiners gives you a case and he miss suppose desire or attention one part and then asks the question why the message is not clear, why the speaker in this case fails to convince the audience, fails to convince the employees. At that time you have to focus on this ADA model. So ADA model means attention, interest, desires and action. This model was conceptualized by Elias St. Elmo Lewis, an American advertising advocate who wrote and spoke effectively about the potential of advertising to educate the public. This model organized your proposal into 4 stages. American advertising agency that person developed who wrote to us and spoke effectively about the potential of advertising to educate the public. Means to persuade the public through advertisement, to advertise and to convince them through advertisement. That person generated this model. भनेको जस्तै हामीले टेलिभिजनमा, न्यूजपेपरमा we get many, social mediaमा we get many advertisement and they try to persuade us. किन चाहिँ यो साबुनले लाइफ बोय साबुनले नहुने त भनेर चाहिँ उसले के गर्छ जम कीटाणुबाट चाहिँ उगरेको त्यसबाट चाहिँ रोक्नको लागि यो भनेर दिन्छ नि. त्यस्तै चाहिँ तपाईले किन चाहिँ त्यो चीज त्यो प्रोडक्ट प्रयोग गर्ने त भनेर त advertisement is a kind of persuasive message. So that example of persuasive message is advertisement. Advertisers try to persuade us giving authentic evidence in persuasion there is evidence as well. So त्यही advertising agency go one of the person, American person, he wrote that persuasive message through advertisement. He tried to convince, educate the public. He generated this model, AIDA model. So attention means captivate your audience by establishing credibility and opening with an interesting and unexpected statement. भन्न खोजेको कस्तो भन्दा कुनै कुनै एडभर्टाइज तपाईले यसो ख्याल गर्नु होला, कमन हामीले डे टु डे ल्याङ्ग्वेजमा बोलेको छ भने, डे टु डे ल्याङ्ग्वेजमा आएको छ भने द्याट इज नट केयर, एटेन्सन क्रिएट गर्ने खालको के तपाईको हुन्छ नि। तपाईको रेलवे स्टेसनमा जाने हो भने के गर्छ त्यो चाय बेच्नेवालाहरूले अर्कै आफ्नो साउन्ड नै चेन्ज गरेको हुन्छ है, तपाईले ख्याल गर्नुभएको होला यसो रेलवे स्टेसनतिर जाँदाखेरि। त्यस्तै बजारमा तरकारी बजारमा जाने हो भने बेलुकाखेर के गरेको हुन्छ त्यो सेलर्सहरूले आफ्नो साउन्ड चाहिँ चेन्ज गरेर उसले चाहिँ के गरेको हुन्छ, बोलेको हुन्छ। अब चाहिँ भनौँ न त्यहाँनिर अब चाहिँ उसले चाहिँ तपाईहरुले त थाहा छ होला, मिन्स दे चेन्ज द साउन्ड, दे चेन्ज द स्टाइल्स। कसैले स्टाइल चेन्ज गरेको हुन्छ, तपाईले कहीँ बजारतिर जानुभयो भने, मार्केटमा जानुभयो भने त्यो प्लास्टिक वालाहरूले के गरेको हुन्छ, त्यो बाल्टीलाई भुइँमा ठटाएको हुन्छ। त्यो प्रदर्शनीहरूमा हामीले देखिन्छ, फेयरहरूमा बाल्टी, प्लास्टिकको बाल्टीलाई भुइँमा ढुङ्गामा ठटाएर चाहिँ त्यो एकदम आवाज निकालेको हुन्छ। द्याट मिन्स that person try to make you attention, that oh means try to attract you, giving evidence। हेर्नुस् यति ढुङ्गामा हान्दा पनि फुट्दैन भनेर उता चाहिँ के छ, त्यसले एटेन्सन क्रिएट गर्यो। त्यसैले यसले के भन्छ भन्दाखेरि to persuade other, first attention is necessary. Captivate your audience by establishing credibility and opening with an interesting and unexpected statement। त्यस्तै एडभर्टिजमेन्टमा के हुन्छ त, अनएक्सपेक्टेड स्टेटमेन्ट। कुनै रक्सीको प्रचारमा हेर्नु होला, त्यहाँनिर अनएक्सपेक्टेड स्टेटमेन्ट दिएको हुन्छ। मिन्स भोडका खानुस् अनि चाहिँ रिल्याक्स गर्नुस् भनेर चाहिँ के गरेको हुन्छ, महिलाहरू, केटीहरू, मोडलहरू चाहिँ हुन्छन्, उनीहरूले मजाले खाएको देखाएको हुन्छ। द्याट इज अनएक्सपेक्टेड स्टेटमेन्ट फर अस। अनि हाम्रो आँखा जान्छ त्यहाँनिर। सो द्याट इज एटेन्सन, that should create the attention। एउटा कुरा भयो। अनि इन्ट्रेस्ट, build on the first paragraph with additional interesting relevant information while backing up your proposals with evidence such as fact and figures। भनेको इन्ट्रेस्ट, अब त्यो एटेन्सन भयो, तपाईँ जानुभयो त्यो चाहिँ किन्ने ठाउँमा, प्लास्टिकको बाल्टी किन्ने ठाउँमा, बकेट किन्ने ठाउँमा, अनि त्यसपछि तपाईँ एभिडेन्सको लागि उसले विभिन्न चिज पछार्छ, अनि दुईटा ठोक्काउँछ, के गर्छ, अनि चाहिँ त्यो भनेको के हो, इन्ट्रेस्ट क्रिएट गर्न। ओ इट्स भेरी रिलायबल, इट्स भेरी सुइटेबल फर मी, इट्स रियली नेसेसरी थिङ्स भनेर तपाईँलाई इन्ट्रेस्ट क्रिएट गर्छ। अनि डिजायर, एट दिस पोइन्ट यु वान्ट टु इन्क्रिज योर अडियन्स डिजायर बाई एक्सप्लेनिङ हाउ योर प्रपोजल विल बेनिफिट देम। तपाईँलाई बेनिफिट के छ त त्यसको, why you should buy that product, you create the desire। तपाईको हुन्छ नि विभिन्न बैंकहरूले चाहिँ अफर ल्याएको हुन्छ, तपाईको चाहिँ के छ भन्दाखेरि त्यो हेल्थ इन्स्योरेन्सको कुराहरू गरिरहेका छन् अहिले बैंकहरूले, अथवा चाहिँ केही क्यासब्याक भन्छ, कसले के भन्छ, त्यो के योजना भन्छ, अर्कोले के योजना भन्छ। मिन्स देयर आर डिफरेन्ट शेड्युल फर इच एन्ड एभ्री ग्रुप। चिल्ड्रेन्सको लागि डिफरेन्ट शेड्युल छ, मेच्योर पर्सनको लागि, ओल्ड पर्सनको लागि, एडल्टको लागि डिफरेन्ट त्यहाँनिर छ, विभिन्न योजनाहरू ल्याएका छ। त्यो भनेको डिजायर क्रिएट गरेको, त्यस्तो खालको हुन्छ म्यासेज। अनि एक्सनमा finally and most important, your concluding paragraphs will suggest the action required while stressing their benefits and making sure that desired action is clear, fairly and easy to accomplish। भनेको लास्टमा चाहिँ के हुनुपर्छ, त्यो म्यासेजको क्लोज के हुनुपर्छ, इजी टु एकम्प्लिस, सबैले बुझ्ने खालको हुनुपर्छ, डिजायर क्रिएट गर्ने खालको हुनुपर्छ, एन्ड एक्सन रिक्वायर, त्यो डिजायर गरेको चिज तपाईले के गर्नुपर्छ त भन्दाखेरि कन्क्लुड प्याराग्राफ विल सजेस्ट द एक्सन रिक्वायर्ड व्हाइल स्ट्रेसिङ देयर बेनिफिट्स, त्यसको फाइदा है, त्यसको चाहिँ गुड साइड्स के छ, सो दैट डिजायर एक्सन इज क्लियर एन्ड फेयरली इजी। ठिक छ है भनेर तपाईँ मनबाट ढुक्क तपाईले एकदम त्यसलाई कन्फिडेन्ट क्रिएट गर्ने खालको हुनुपर्छ। सो दिस इज द एडा मोडल, AIDA model of persuasive message, creating the persuasive message or to persuade the other। So this model, AIDA model के हो भनेर कहिलेकाहीँ सर्ट नोटमा आउन सक्छ, you have to write at that time। Attention, interest, desire, action, you have to describe that। In day-to-day life also, in present business schedule also, you can use that। तपाईको कम्पनीमा अफर ल्याउनु पर्यो भने यति चारवटा चिज एटेन्सन क्रिएट गर्ने खालको, सबैले झस्केर ओ के रहेछ भनेर हेर्ने खालको, इन्ट्रेस्ट क्रिएट गर्न अथेन्टिक तपाईले त्यहाँनिर एभिडेन्स दिने खालको, डिजायर क्रिएट गर्ने खालको, एन्ड त्यो एक्सनमा आउनु पर्यो। भित्रैदेखि मान्छे कन्भिन्स होस्, तपाईको बैंकमा तपाईको अर्गनाइजेसनमा मान्छे फ्लो होस् अर्को दिनदेखि, ए त्यहाँ त चाहिँ स्वास्थ्य बिमा रहेछ भनेर छ नि विभिन्न बैंकहरूले ल्याएका छन् योजना। अब त्यो भनेको के हो त, एटेन्सन क्रिएट गर्ने खालको, इन्ट्रेस्ट डिजायर एक्सन क्रिएट गर्ने खालको।